Hey everyone, Ben from Living Survival, and today we're going to take a look at a great new piece of gear. Stick with me, you're watching Living Survival. So you guys know I'm a big fan of synthetics, specifically this SJ3 and SJ9, which I also showed you, and a great down jacket from Black Diamond. They're great, they're lightweight, they're easily packable, and they're my go-to when I head out for hikes, when I know I might be sweating and I want to be able to shed layers, things like that. But I picked up a new piece of gear that's perfect for around base camp and keeping you very, very warm during those cold, cold winter days and nights. So let's take a look at the Lester River Bushcraft Wool Boreal shirt. So this is the Lester River Bushcraft 100% wool Boreal shirt. It's a fantastic piece of kit, especially when the temperatures dip down below freezing. Now, to be honest, I just picked this up late in the season, so I don't have much experience with it, but I'm gonna take you for a walk around some of the features, and then we're gonna join Tyler for a conversation on wool versus synthetic. So I have no doubts that anyone that owns one of these, it's probably one of their favorite pieces of kit, and it does keep you exceptionally warm. We all know that wool is a great insulator, and it maintains its insulation when wet. It's got a great oversized hood on the top. You can cinch that down by pulling the two straps here. It's got a great neck cuff here that keeps your neck nice and warm. You can cinch that down as well. And then on the sleeves, you have some cuffs here with some buttons that you can make looser or tighter depending on whether you're wearing gloves or just how you want to wear the shirt. Another great feature of this shirt is that it's oversized in length so that it goes down quite a ways, well past my hips, so that if you're carrying gear and stuff like that around your waist, it's going to keep that nice and covered. And again, it's going to help keep that cold weather from getting in down there. Now, down around the waist, there is a piece of shot cord with a cord lock that you can use to cinch it tight. And then one of the other great features is this nice large kangaroo pouch in the front. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you, but inside here in the back of it, there is a zippered pouch. So we might be able to take a look here. If I pull it out, you can see that there's a zip there so that you can tuck down your keys and things like that that you don't want jingling around and you definitely don't want to lose. You can zip that tight and then you can keep them right in there. Now, also in this pocket is two D-rings. There's one on either side. Great for clipping items that you want to keep with you. Maybe you want to clip your ferro rod to that. Maybe you even want to clip your knife to that. Everyone knows that it's very easy to lose things in the brush, and these clips make it very nice. You just clip things on, and that way you go to use it, and let's say you set it down or something, it's going to be clipped to you so that there's no chance of you walking off without it. Now, on the front portion of this, there's also two smaller pockets that are sewn in. Not sure you can see that, but two smaller pockets, again, for organizing little pieces of gear, things like that. Maybe you want to put, you know, a little pocket knife or something in there, who knows what, but there's a lot of different organizational items within this large kangaroo pouch. It is nice and large on the side so that even with big gloves, you can get in and out of this shirt. Now, this is 100% wool, so although it is a heavyweight wool that's very warm and very comfortable, you do want to probably wear a long sleeve shirt instead of a short sleeve shirt underneath this so that you don't get very itchy. Now, I'm pretty used to wool and things like that. I only have a t-shirt on underneath and I'm not itching yet, but if I were hiking or something like that, I would definitely probably want a long sleeve shirt on. Now, as I said, I just picked this up in the tail end of the winter. The temperatures are warming up, but I did get a chance to hang out with my buddy Tyler, and we're gonna go over wool versus synthetic, so check it out. All right, guys, so Tyler is definitely a wool junkie. He's pretty much wool and beaver from top to bottom. So, you know, I came on this trip today with the synthetic, but I just picked up a Lester River Boreal shirt, which is wool. And, you know, of course I love wool. And, but, you know, I like synthetic as well. And there's definitely pros and cons of each. So what to you is some of the pros of wool?
Well, I've spent a lot of time trying to do both. Like I've got 20 plus years in the military, and that's all synthetic with occasional wool. And then I really like the primitive bushcraft, primitive skills, which is all wool. So the pros and the cons are, the biggest pro is if you're doing a bow drill, you're not gonna catch your clothes on fire when you start doing the nesting material, blowing on it, or when you're spending a lot of time next to a fire, you're not going to burn holes in clothes, because like if you have synthetic material, a little spark hits and it immediately melts it and makes this hole. I mean, it'll actually make a big ring. And when that's with wool, as long as you're not like holding the coal there, you brush it off, it doesn't even leave a mark. The other positive for wool is it retains 80% of its heating ability when it's wet. So that's something that not a lot of synthetic can keep up with. And lastly, I can wear this almost indefinitely, especially where I'm from. In Utah, we have sagebrush, so I can wear this until it starts to stink, take the wool off and hang it up next to a fire, burn some sagebrush smoke through it, which is antimicrobial, antibacterial. It'll kill off the smell. I go wash myself off, put the clothes back on, smell a little bit like sagebrush, but I'm not actually dirty or have bacteria. And that's something you, again, can't do with synthetics. I know in the military we'd wear the polypropylene and that stuff got funky quick. So wool doesn't have that issue.
Right. So I mean, yeah, there's definitely advantages of wool, and I'd say, you know, especially in the wintertime, which is probably when you're going to use the wool the most. Obviously, its biggest factor is it keeps you warm.
Yeah, it definitely keeps you warm. Well, and it's breathable too. Like one of the big issues when you're carrying heavy gear long distances and stuff, you're sweating really heavy, and sweat in the winter will kill you because you can't dry off fast enough to be able to insulate yourself. Wool takes care of that issue. Like a lot of times when I was rucking heavy in the winter, I would wear a wool shirt, take the Gore-Tex layer off and put it in my Alice pack, carry that for a big distance, and then when we stop I would wait until I start to cool down and dry off, then throw that Gore-Tex back on. And that wool gave me the ability to sweat in the winter without killing myself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely wool gloves and wool hat, and I look forward to using the Boreal shirt quite a bit more. I mean, you even have wool pants on.
Yeah, I got my leg up here. I got Swedish wool pants. The big reason is because, again, it's just sweat for me. When it gets really cold, like below freezing and colder, when you sweat, the air's dry, so it's going to take that out away from your body and come out in the form of a frost on your clothing that you can brush off. So it gives you just the ability to work hard doing saws and bow drills and whatever it is that you're doing, and then the sweat will go through it and brush out. And again, it doesn't stink like it does with synthetic. Essentially, stink means that you're growing bacteria. If you're growing bacteria, you're going to eventually get some sort of fungal or rot or whatever. That's bad. And wool is a way to prevent that.
Right, so you guys might be wondering why on earth, if I got a brand new awesome Boreal wool shirt, did I not bring it on this overnight? And the reason is just experience. I mean, you want to go with what you're used to, and you know, you guys know that I love my snug pack gear, SJ3 and SJ9. I've reviewed it previously, and especially in an area that I'm not familiar with, and knowing that it was going to get below freezing, you know, your wisest choice obviously in any outdoor adventure, hiking, camping, you know, survival training or preparation, is use what you know. So until I get more experience knowing how to layer the wool and you know, what I'm comfortable with, the temperatures I'm comfortable with, and things like that, you know, you guys will certainly see more of the wool. I guess there's, you know, there's pros and cons, as I said, to each. Obviously, some pros for the synthetic would be that it's lightweight and packable. So if you're packing everything into a backpack, maybe you're backpacking, you know, the layers are easily sheddable. I'm constantly taking, you know, this top layer on and off. If I'm on the move, I'm just wearing the sort of mid layer here, and all I have on underneath is you know, a long sleeve shirt. So you don't have to have much on underneath, whether you're layering up with synthetic or wool. And you know, when I'm around camp and gonna stand still for a while, then I can put on the outer layer and stay really warm. As Tyler said, you know, you want to stay away from sparks and heat in general. Definitely, you know, you can burn this stuff. It's not as durable as wool is. You know, walking through briars and thickets and things like that, you know, you can poke holes and then your fill's coming out. So you do have to be careful as that as well. So, you know, you basically just have to look into the environment that you're going into, and you know, what you think is going to be best, whether you want something that's definitely going to be warm, fireproof, you know, and as he said, more antimicrobial, but it's heavier and harder to layer. You know, you're not probably going to wear 2 or 3 layers of wool. No.
You can.
Yeah, you certainly can.
There isn't a right or a wrong in this situation. It's just what's going to work better for the situation. If you're going to spend a lot of time next to a fire, definitely wool's going to be the better situation. If you're going light and fast and you're not going to use a fire, maybe you're going to use a burner or MRE heaters, then synthetic's going to be better. The one thing that synthetic has that wool doesn't is its ability to stop the wind. It's a positive thing that the wind can go through wool because it takes the sweat off you, but it's a negative thing because it can make you cold. The only thing you can really do is layer the wool really deep so that the wind can't get through it, but then you're kind of like a puffy pillow. So even though I've got the wool that I'm wearing here, I'd also highly suggest get a Gore-Tex that goes on the outside. I have a Swazi jacket that I wear over the top of my wool when it's really nasty. That way I can sweat into the wool, wear the Swazi jacket to stop the wind, and then when I'm in a situation where the wind stops, I take the Swazi jacket off and I can breathe out of it, and without stripping down so far that I get bare skin and cold against me.
And it also matters the quality of the wool too. I mean,
absolutely.
You know, that's why you pay, you know, a pretty penny for good wool blankets. The same goes for, you know, wool clothing as well. You know, the tightness of the weave and things like that are all going to affect not only its breathability, but its warmth value as well. So,
and one of the big differences in the quality is this, especially with blankets, they have a fill, and it's going to be some sort of fiber that can be synthetic or who even knows, felt, whatever it is, and you don't know what's in that fiber. So when you get a blanket that's 80% wool, what's the other 20% made of? Is it something that has lanolin that'll stop the bacteria? Is it something that has the loft and the fill and the insulating factors? Usually the odds are it is not, and that's why it's a cheaper blanket. And like as an example with this wool, this is a G-Fred Aspel jacket. With this jacket, it gives you a higher quality wool that breathes a little more without blowing the wind through it. Like if you compare, it's interesting because I have a Leicester River jacket as well. I love them both. I just depends on the situation. The Leicester River jacket's a little more weight. This is a little lighter weight. The Leicester River jacket's going to be a little more scratchy because it's an army blanket. This is a little lighter in the scratchiness. They're both similar in their build. You really can't go wrong with either one or the other.
So guys, hopefully you enjoyed taking a look at Tyler's point of view when it comes to wool. He's definitely more experienced at it than I am, so I wanted to get him on here and talk about it a little bit. As I said, I'm going to link his channel below, so go over there and give him a thumbs up on his wool video and give him a subscription on his channel. So again, as I said guys, I picked this up late in the season. I'm looking forward to getting a lot more use of it, and I'll be sure to do a follow-up review. You can check out other videos on YouTube. I know a lot of my friends have this exact shirt and they absolutely love it. It's a very, very quality purchase that you're getting. It's not cheap. It runs about $250 plus shipping, but you're getting a heavyweight wool that's completely sewn and made just for you. And with the extra thought that went into it, I think it's worth that price all day long. It's heavyweight, so it's definitely not going to be for your ultralight backpackers. I'm still going to wear my synthetic probably most of the time, but times when I want to just go out and bushcraft, for example, or times when I know I'm not going to be moving very much, camping for example, I'm definitely going to want something like this to keep me warm on those colder days. So I'm going to put a link below to Leicester River Bushcraft. Go and check this product out as well as the other products that he has for sale on his website. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up for me. Leave me some comments below. Be sure to share this to friends and family who might be interested on your social media. You can follow me on my social media as well. And as always guys, don't forget to click that red subscribe button and subscribe for more videos.